The NFL anthem protest sparking new rules for high school sports. Now, some student athletes in Louisiana and members of school clubs are getting a directive to stand for the national anthem or face consequences. But some groups are opposed to the move. Joining us now via Skype is Scott Smith. He's the superintendent of Bossier Parish School System. He, along with some school principals, other school principals, came up with the directive. Scott, thank you very much for joining us this morning. So for a lot of patriotic Americans across the country, this is a breath of fresh air. A superintendent saying, hey, if you're going to be in my school district, you're going to stand for the national anthem. Where did this come from?
Well, thank you, and I appreciate being here. Actually, it's been a topic of conversation, as you know, over the past several days, the past week and a half. We've been receiving some questions from our local media about what would we do in Bossier Parish concerning this situation. And so that led to us sending out a press release requiring our student athletes and those in other organizations that are voluntary to stand for our national anthem.
Now, you're a public school, and so this statement has drawn, of course, predictably, criticism from the highest of quarters, including the ACLU. They said this. They tweeted this yesterday saying, the Supreme Court ruled that students don't have to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. That goes for the national anthem on the ball field as well. So what do you say to the ACLU when you say, no, you can't tell kids, young student athletes, that they should respect their country?
Well, we disagree with that. We believe that when a student is involved in an extracurricular activity that is not required by the school, and football, baseball, basketball, tennis, any other sport, any other extracurricular organization is strictly voluntary, And we believe that if we have a set of rules, policies, or directives, that they follow that. And if they can't do that, they simply don't have to be a part of that organization.
Scott,
we certainly understand.
Well, that makes sense to me. You can't volunteer to whether you go to school or not, but you do get to choose if you play a sport or not. So to other superintendents out, this seems like a layup. This makes sense. Why are we not seeing as many other superintendents take this kind of a stance?
Well, it's just really amazing to me. Never in my wildest imagination would I have thought that actually requiring our student athletes to stand for something so reverent as our national anthem would be a national issue.
What does it say about our country, sir? What does it say about our country right now?
It's almost saddening, to be honest with you, because we need to understand that within the boundaries of Bossier Parish, we have Barksdale Air Force Base. We have the 2nd Bomb Wing, the mighty 8th Air Force, and Global Strike Command. We have many veterans that live in our community, and it's a very patriotic area. And we stand, for that flag. We stand for our country. We stand for our veterans. It's sometimes I don't feel like we're very close to this situation. We almost feel like that we're in an iron bubble, but yet it can be penetrated. We've had so many people that have come back that are close by, that have come back without arms, they've come back without legs, even in caskets, and they certainly can't speak for themselves.
Yeah.
And it's such we have to realize that these people over there, some of them making just $30,000 to $40,000 a year, are there protecting the very liberties that we have over here that we seem to take for granted. So if someone felt that whizzing of that bullet by their head, if they saw their family members come in without an arm or a limb, I think that they may be singing a different tune, and it may sound a lot like the national anthem.
So well said. I've heard that whizzing of a bullet on a battlefield myself, and I can tell you, your words are powerful. The kids of Bossier Parish are fortunate to have you as their superintendent. Scott Smith, thank you very much for joining us this morning.